So when did everyone in the gaming community become a massive bitch all of a sudden? It seems when anyone of note says anything not completely politically correct, everyone is outraged by it. I'll use JonTron as an example. A little while ago, JonTron called PlayStation Now retarded. Not that big a deal, right? Well, apparently it was, as an army of, let's face it, mostly Tumblr users thought this was absolutely horrific. Enough so to the point where they had to berate him on Twitter and other social media about how terrible a person he was. There was one guy who responded politely saying that maybe you shouldn't use that word, which to be fair, John did reply quite immaturely to. And that response is the only thing that JonTron was really in the wrong for regarding this particular issue. Now before I move on, I would like to address the word retarded. It's not really that bad a word. Sure, its use might make some people with disabilities feel a bit bad, but that's the extent of the word's damage. And if you're going to be outraged at the word's use, you should also be outraged by the words crazy, schizo and mental, as they all have the same general meaning of someone having a mental disability. But no, people for now will only be mad if you use the word retarded, because apparently that is way worse than all the others, for reasons. But that was just one recent example. You also have the Far Cry 4 box art, which loads of people called racist as soon as they saw a guy of one race being kinda mean to a guy of another race, because obviously the characters you put in games reflect your own views. You also have all the man-baby reactions to feminist frequencies videos, which I admit I don't always agree with, but it's her opinion, she can have it, it's not going to take away your video games. There are plenty of other instances of gamers being outraged for unjust, petty reasons. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't be outraged by anything, not in the gaming industry and certainly not in the real world. For instance, the outrage at Xbox One's initial policies had a very positive outcome, but that shouldn't be your default reaction to things you disagree with. See, when your default reaction to anything that could be offensive or disagreeable is anger and hateful comment, then over time people will take you less and less seriously. So when there is something that is genuinely not on, no one will give a shit about your outrage because you act like this all the fucking time. Or to paraphrase, gamers are the boy crying wolf, when really it's just a cute little terrier. The more interesting side to this topic is why people want to be outraged all the time, because I do not believe that 90% of the anger is a genuine emotional response. I think people like to jump on the bandwagon of outrage because it gives them a chance to unleash their inner frustration as well as letting them put others down to help them feel better about themselves. And somehow they feel minor things like saying retarded is validation enough to personally attack someone for their own self-satisfaction. But enough with the psychoanalyzing, because if you can't spell it you probably shouldn't be doing it. Oh shit, I should probably rewrite that. I might be berated for my attack on the dyslexic. But I think the worst part of gamer outrage culture is that they could be using all this negative energy on so much more just causes, like government that wants to fuck you over, and banks that want to fuck you over, and police forces that want to fuck you over and shoot your dog, and people that abuse animals, etc, etc, etc. What's Phil Fish done on the grand scheme of things? He's been kind of a dick sometimes. All he really wants to do is make Fez 2. He's not charging ridiculous amounts of money for essential medicines in interest of company profits. He's not trying to make patents on medical procedures. Go after the supervillains, not the people with slightly controversial opinions. But if you must do, please be civil. Not to the supervillains, fuck those guys. Thank you for watching my video. It came out a little messier than I wanted it to, because I wrote it very late at night when I was quite tired. But I made the points I wanted to. So, yeah. If you liked it, then hit that like button, that's what it's there for. And if you want to see more videos, not necessarily like this one, but in the same vein about gaming and game culture, and maybe stuff about TV shows, movies, just shit I'm interested in, hit subscribe.